Okay, let's begin on our back. Let's get all the way down. So your feet are flat. Rest your head where it's comfortable. If putting your head flat to the floor is uncomfortable to your neck, excuse me, then you can always put something underneath the base of your neck or the base of your skull to try to keep your head lifted a little bit. So with our feet flat, our arms long, let's just rock the pelvis. So you're keeping your back to the floor, but you're rocking your pelvis. So you're lifting the tailbone up, keeping the back down, and then pressing the tailbone to the floor, and the back has like a curve to it. So hyperextension, but you're keeping the tailbone down. And just keep rocking like that with your feet together and knees together. Okay. Now let your back come to what we call a neutral position. You're going to let your right leg move away from you a little bit. So as the right leg comes away, a lot of times I can recall when I was a little kid, we used to do that, let the right leg drop, let the left leg, but that's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is keep the firmness in the left leg, allow the right leg to come out and away, gently letting it drop. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, draw it in to the left. So of course there's control there, and you can always roll onto the ankle to make sure the foot is lifted if you want. It's entirely up to you. Continue to do this. Always controlling that knee that's bent, that's up towards the ceiling, keeping it firm, the foot firm. Okay, now with a deep breath in, as you exhale, let both knees drop to one side. And when they do, let them stack. So see how one is on top of the other? Your back, of course, is lifted from the floor. Your hips are stacked. Here they are. But your left shoulder wants to stay to the mat. Or maybe it doesn't. Try to keep it down as close to the mat as you can. You get a nice twist here. Inhale. Exhale, center. So back is flat. Inhale. Exhale, let the back drop. So once again, you're stacking the hip. The legs are together. Keeping that right shoulder as close to the mat as you can. Deep breath in. And exhale, center. Good job. Okay. Now we're going to take those toesies and we're going to work those feet. We've done this before. Our feet are together, knees are together. We're going to inchworm those toes. So when you're on the mat, you're going to crinkle the toes and feel them move down your mat. So your toes are like inchworms. You're going to go as far as you can because you're gripping, and then you're going to come back. So coming back is very difficult. You push the toe down, lift the heel, push the toe, lift the heel. You're feeling that up through the ankle space into the gastrocnemius. Good thing to do. Okay, let's take it forward again. Inchworm those toes down. And then back we go. Let's try it one more time. If you start to feel crampy in the calf muscle or the ankle or the feet, it's usually because you're not used to moving your feet this way. And come on back. Rub it out and then come back to us if you feel crampy. Good. Okay. So right leg to the ceiling, point and flex. Good thing to do after you do your little inchworms. Point and flex. So feel how the weight, gravity is pushing your spine really tight to that mat. Your arms are long, your shoulders are back, and your chest is expanded. Now circle the ankle. keeping that leg lifted. Let's nod and bound, lift the head weight, holding on to the back of the right hamstring. So feel that stretch. You feel the contraction through the abdominals up through the obliques. So you're really keeping the shoulders back and down. Don't lift them up to your ears. So now with your hands here, you can feel, keep that knee straight. Now inhale. As you exhale, drop the head weight back down, still holding on to that leg. Feel a deep stretch through the hamstring. Good. So release the hands, bring the shoulders back down, and now release your left leg long. So what happens sometimes is you are going to find that when the left leg goes down, the right knee wants to bend because the range of motion is shortened. So I would try to cue you to bring the leg down to keep the knee straight. Lower the leg all the way to the floor, point the toe, and bring it back up. So point and flex. You're coming down. You're coming up. Always add contractions by pointing and flexing. Gets that muscle moving. Muscles contract, extend, which is good for the joint space. One more. Take it up and then bend that knee, bend that left leg. Cool. So left leg is up to the ceiling. We're going to point and flex. Always exaggerate. It might seem a little odd, but exaggerate it. Now let's circle. I don't know if I circled on the other side, but oh well. So now you're going to lift your head weight, holding on to the left hamstring. Now, when you get here, a lot of times people, their neck space is very uncomfortable. I recommend that you come up higher then. Shoulders are back and down. Keep that knee very straight at that joint. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower the head space. Look at that. Feel the stretch. Feels good. You're waking up those legs. And release the hands down. So when you lower the right leg, it's going to shorten the range of motion. So make sure that that left knee is straight. Flex the foot, lower, point the toe, bring it up. Keep that right leg nice and strong. It's your base. It's keeping you strong. Going. One more, take it down, take it all the way up, bend the knee, bend the right. Okay. So with the feet hip width apart, we're going to do a bridge. So we talked about the bridge before. I'm going to take it this way. Take the ball or whatever you have underneath the headspace out and lower the head completely. Bringing the arms long, nice and long beside you. Place your hands on your hip. This way you can feel the bony tissue in the front. Then you can feel the psoas muscle that connects into there. When you place your hands here, this is the iliac, okay, on those hips. So we're going to rock your pelvis, rock it up, feel it shift, then rock it down like we did when we started. Feel it shift here. Your hands are on there so you can really feel it. Now, rock it up, lift, 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 and hold it. So where's the best way to hold it? Well, if you go up too high, you're going to go into your neck and shoulders. This is meant to really open up and release through here and the leg, right? So pulling the belly button in, slowly one vertebra at a time, drop your spine, take your middle back waistline, tailbone down. And again, slowly roll it up. You're coming up to a place where you're comfortable in your chest. You're not coming up so high that you feel like you're strangling yourself. Inhale, exhale down. Back is flat. Keep going. Lift, lift, lift. Hold. Feel that length. It's like an oppositional pull. With your scapula down, you can feel the legs long. And then come down. That's one. Hold it up here. And slowly down. Good. Okay, so bringing the knees in. Let's feel that rocking. So we have our back. We're in a boat pose. We call this a boat pose because you look like a boat, I guess. I don't know, but that's what they say, whoever they are. So before we get out of this position, open the legs wide. Feel a stretch and feel your back drop. Now, if you want to put your head weight down, go for it. But what I'm looking for is you can feel your lower back really pressing down to the floor here. It's real important. It's the spine and then the hips and the back, they need to be long. Okay. Now, bringing your legs together, going back into that boat pose, I want you to rock your back. Now, if you have osteoporosis, you cannot do this. It's not healthy for your spine. Keep rolling. And come up. Good. Okay. With your feet together against the ball at the bottom, move yourself around and feel those sits bones lift and drop. Okay. Real important to get those sits bones tight to that floor. Okay. You'll feel better because you'll be able to move up and forward more. Plus, it helps to move the length through the spine, through the legs. So you're here, arms are out. First thing I want you to do is open your right arm up. So if you're here, plug the shoulders, open the right arm up. Bring it back. Open the left arm. If you find sitting tall like this, you begin to go back here, okay? Then bend your knees. There's always a modification. And there's no shame in modifications, okay? Don't ever feel that way. Okay, so we're very tall. Now we're going to take both arms out and feel how the ribs lift and the chest opens. Yep, and then back.
Don't unmute.
One more. And release. Okay. Hands down. So now lifting again, that long spine. Feel how the roof of your mouth and the crown of your head are lifting up. You're drawing here. Arms out. Not bow. Spine stretch forward. Come up, sit tall. Keep going. When I come back, I always make sure my shoulders drop back into place. Two more. And last one. Okay, drop your arms down. Now open your legs as wide as your mat. Shake it out, shake it out. Really work on length through the joints, through the back of the knee. Take the ball and squeeze it at the top. And when you squeeze it, your legs will come in a little bit on that mat. So you're nice and long. Same thing, shoulders stay down. Not about, reach. So notice that my head is lifted. I'm not taking a flexion forward and dropping everything like this, okay? I'm reaching out in front of me. So I'm reaching for length. Stay with this. Spine stretch. 2 more. And last one. Good. Take your hands back behind you. All right, so you're rested and you're lifting the chest from a perspective of you don't want to be here, okay? You want to lift out and feel the hips move forward and the abdominals open up, okay? So you're here for now. So now the first thing I want you to do is just drop your chin. Then lift your head. Drop the chin. Lift the head weight. Keep going. And last one. Good. So coming back up again on those sits bones, we're going to take the arms out in front. Same, looks like a spine stretch. Instead, we're going to bring the left arm back and we're going to twist. So we're going to move over into that left space. We're going to reach, saw off the left toe, come up, sweep it around, going right into your saw. Saw off. So notice that when I'm sawing, I'm not dropping. I'm not letting my chest drop down. So I'm not going here. I'm staying lifted. Real important. There's no reason why you have to flex forward like that. This is more of a reach. You're also in better control. If you were bouncing, you would be pulling at joints. So we're not doing that. Trying to stay up and long. One more to this side. Saw it out. Lift up and release. Good. Shake that out. Ball comes out and feet come together. Looks really good. Okay. So with your feet together, literally, you can be up here tight, or you can be down here long. Up here tight, you know, you're feeling it more in the inner thighs. Down here long, you're feeling it in the outside of the leg. So find where you're happy. Move those sits bones around, get them down to that floor. Real important. Grounds us. Walk your fingers forward, but don't let your shoulders lift. Keep them back. So hold that there. Now, while you're here, move the right hand over all the way. Take it back as far as you can get it if it stays on the floor. Walk it back. To the left. Walk it out. Bring it on back. Great. Keep rocking side to side. Walk a little bit farther forward. Feel the stretch. Then come on back. Okay. Drawing your knees together, extending your legs. Ball comes behind us. So you stay right there. So with legs extended, ball is tight to the back. You want to be lifted very high. So if you find that you're here, bend your knees a little bit and pull into it so you can feel your sits bones onto the floor, okay? With the ball there, you're going to bring your arms out again, and they're never up here. They're farther down. They're lower. You're going to articulate your spine. So my lower back is going to drop onto that ball. Okay. And then I'm going to lift up. And again, my lower back is going to drop on and then lift up. And then drop it and lift. And drop and lift. Keep going. It's always good to get a visual. Now this time we're going to take it all the way down and back. So you're going to feel it more towards the top part of your lower back, even into your middle back, okay? Holding it there. Now inhale, keep the inner thighs together. Exhale, lift, 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 and move it forward into a spine stretch, keeping the shoulders down. Inhale, lower lumbar drops, rolling that back onto the ball. Feels so good. Lift, 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 and reach. Good. Keep going. Articulate. Feel. It's like you can disconnect the lower back from the middle back to the upper back. And then you bring them all back together again. They all work in unison. Feels good. Inhale. Exhale, reach. And again, take it back. Drop, drop, drop. So we're here. Now, anybody with a shoulder issue, you're not doing this. If you have a shoulder issue, just drop your hands here. If you want to open up the rib cage and come up, do that. If you find that this is hard on an impingement in the shoulder girdle or anything that's working there, take your hands down and then lift. Okay. So one more, take it back. Let's open up, bring it back. And there you go. Forward, forward she goes. Okay. Shake it out, shake it out. Good. Okay. So I want to try to work on some piriformis. I know Sparky's probably in a lot of pain right now with that, but we're going to take the left leg back. So what happens right away, you can feel for anybody with knee impingements or knees, you know who you are. I don't need to name you. You're gonna modify this for where you're comfortable. What I want to do is as we bring the knee outside, you're lifting up and sitting on that right sit bone. Can you feel that? Yeah, it feels good. So now if I walk my fingers forward, I can feel the hamstring stretching all the way down and up into the upper part of my tushy. And a little bit more. So it is true that they say that the hip bone's connected to the thigh bone, because it's true. They're all connected. Keep going. Hamstring behind the knee. You feel the calf muscle. You're feeling it everywhere. Even up through the hip. Come back up. Bringing this guy back. And let's take this one out. So I like to line it laterally so that I'm sitting up. So for this side for me, I'm really tight in my left hamstrings because my left quadriceps and IT band it has been injured. So it's always tighter on this side. So I have to think about where I'm going here. So inhale, I'm going to walk it. Now I'm going to concentrate on keeping my leg down. I'm feeling the stretch already. So I want to stop when I feel it. Oh, I feel it too tight. There's no such thing as you stretch to where you're comfortable. There should be no PAIN. That's a 4-letter word. Inhale. Take it forward. Anyone who says no pain, no gain, that's not really true. Going. It's a difference between being uncomfortable in a movement and having pain. That's why we hold a lot of these stretches differently than we do in yoga. We hold them differently. We slow them down is what we do. Come on back. Leg forward. Okay. So now we're going on all fours. Good. First thing I want you to do is take your ball and place it between your legs. Okay. Your hands are right underneath your shoulders. And with your knees closer together, you're holding on to the ball. It gives you the opportunity to really remember you got to use legs. You got to pull up, pull the belly tight. When you squeeze, you can really feel the belly tight. Now, lengthen your spine here. Okay. Feel like your head is moving away from your tailbone. So in this position, your belly's really tight. It's pulling up to your back. Your belly button is pushing up to your back. Now, move into a bent elbow and press up. Inhale, exhale. You want to feel length as well as contraction. One more. Very good. Okay. Now move your hands forward just a tad, like one hand size. Move it forward. So you're going to find this is a different feeling. You're going to bend, same thing, and push away. Elbows either go outside, sometimes they go behind you. It's a different thing. I don't want you to lean forward like this. Stay back where you were. Inhale, exhale. If this is bothersome, of course, to your shoulders, you're not going to do this. Or even elbows, if you're suffering from some sort of elbow injury. All right, now walk yourself back. So when you walk back, you're walking back. I'm not crunching and dropping into my child's pose yet. I'm really just walking back. The ball's still here between my legs, and I'm sitting on my heel. If this is uncomfortable, you know where you need to go, which might be to a seated position at this point for some people. Now open your arms wider. Walk your fingers if you're comfortable. So you're in a child's pose. Sometimes we need to wiggle back into it. Your arms are forward. Sometimes it's better to take the arms outside. It's entirely up to you. Just listen to your body. Now, I like to say, come up a little bit and use what we call a spider finger. So you're on your fingertips. Walk your hands to one side. Yes, if you do it slowly, you're going to gradually feel those obliques open up above the hips, the iliac, up into the ribs, even up to the back of the shoulder girdle here, the serratus anterior. Now move it forward. And to the other side. I get to see all the dirt on my floor. This is really interesting. Keep going, the dust. Feel that stretch and come forward. All right, moving out of that, off of the knees, you're going to take yourself down and you're flat on your belly. Okay, so my shoulders, my elbows are right under the shoulder girdle. So yours are too. And you're just feeling how your body just wants to drop. Your belly just wants to drop. You're in that lifted position, but I'm going to encourage you not to just let your belly hang out. Pull your belly button up to your back. Okay. So contract. It's real important to do that. So you're holding it there. Okay. Now let's work with the feet. Let's tuck the toes under, lift the knees a little bit, then drop the knees. Lift the knees, drop the knees. Feel a little bit of a length in the front of the hip. You're in a prone position. This is an extension through the hip flexor. One more. Okay, now if you're comfortable, we're going to take our lucky ball and we're going to place it above the pubic bone and right below the belly button in your bladder space. We're going back onto the elbows. We're going to tuck the toes in and we're lifting those knees again. Look at, you're planking. You didn't even know it, but you're planking. So we're going to work a little bit harder in our planks and we're going to lift the hips a little bit off and drop them on. So this is a very safe plank for people who are in recoveries for shoulder issues, people who are in recovery for back issues. This is a place that you're probably taken to when you go through your PT. We have to gain the support and strength of our extremities and our core before we can get into deeper work here. But there's always baby steps, and you can do it. I believe it. Come up, and then release. Drop your knees, let your feet go flat. And if you want to drop your belly or your chest, you can feel how it raises your back, and it really gives you a little bit of a stretch there. Okay, off. Now you're all the way down. So I'm going to ask you to take your hands and place them together, such as this. This is what we call a finger spray. So it's not one hand on top of the other. It's like you're bringing them together and meeting. You're going to lower your head onto that. Your nose is, of course, touching the floor because there's nowhere for it to go. Now, rocking, pulling your belly in very tight, making sure your shoulders stay down. We're going to prone hip extension. So we're going to lift one leg, release it. Inhale, exhale, release it. So I don't want to turn. I don't want to turn my hip out. I want to lift it directly up so that I'm not here, okay? I'm straight up and down. Sometimes you could only get your foot off the floor maybe a half an inch. You're still executing it, so you're still working. Don't ever think you're not working through this. If you don't feel like you're lifting and moving your leg high enough, everybody's lift is different. Okay, release that. Now, keeping your feet together with your head rested, you're going to lift both legs together and then release it. Lift both legs and release it. Inhale, exhale. Two more. And last one. Great. All right, now move your arms long beside you. Your head is lifted a little bit off the mat because you don't want to squish your nose down. You can't breathe. Pulling your belly in and your legs together so everything is sealed, very strong. Your arms are going to be outside your body. You're not going to let them roll forward. You're going to tuck them in and draw the shoulders down. There's control here. You're not just flopping your arms to the side. So now in this position, you're going to lift head, neck, shoulders, chest. The arms are going to slide to the outside. Then you're going to bring them back in and drop down. So my lower body is very firm to the floor. That means I need to pull my belly button in to my back. So my lower lumbar is very strong. There's no compression in my lower back. My inner thighs are tight and my toes are down. So inhale. You don't have to go up high at all. There might just be a little bit of a lift here. You're still contracting. You can feel your back muscles, your traps, your lats, all that good stuff. But you feel length through your abdominals and your obliques are really kicking in. Inhale, exhale. Okay. Taking your hands on your lower back, you are going to move your legs as wide as your mat. So you're going to bend the left leg and extend it. bend the right, and extend. So this is the basic movement, bend and extend. So we're going to change it up a little bit now. We're going to take both knees in, bend, 1, 2, 3, extend the legs tight to the floor, then raise the upper body with the arms sweeping out. Bring it back in first, bend, and release it, sweep it up. Please use that breath. Slow and controlled. I'm pulling my belly button in as tight as I can before I even lift into that prone hip, into that extension of my upper body. Okay. So my legs go down, but I pull my belly in, then I sweep up. One more. You're up, you're up. Okay, hands out. Drop your elbows. Okay. Sometimes you get very fatigued in your shoulder space here, so be good to yourself. Give yourself an opportunity to release it. So why don't we do some neck work? So if you're comfortable here, your legs are wide, I want you to drop your chin towards your chest. Then lift the head and keep it in alignment with the spine. Don't look up, okay? Bring it down. And in. Chin towards the chest. And again, in. And last one, bring it down and in. That little bit of a stretch can really release any stress in the upper part of the shoulder girdle here. Traps, a lot of traps. Okay, so we're going to lift ourselves up on all fours. Good, good, good. Then we're going to pull ourselves back and sit if you feel comfortable here.
It's 10:40, Sheila.
Thank you. So in this position, I'm going to have you take the right knee. So, sorry, let's go up on all fours again. Open your legs wide. Bring that right knee up and then extend that left leg. So you feel that your hip space on my left side is really opened. Okay. It's a nice stretch. It's also a strengthening move. Now, if you're comfortable here, take this right foot and wiggle it forward. See how it's coming up underneath and around? When I shimmy myself back more, I can feel my piriformis down through the hip, into my leg, into the groin space. There's a lot going on here. If you're not comfortable with this, keep the foot underneath you, okay? If you want to go deeper into this, you can come down. So back space, really, this makes a difference for back space. It helps to open up the lower back. You're going to come up. Okay, sitting and releasing. Okay, so 2 sides to every story. We're going back onto our fours. We're going to bring the left leg forward and draw the right leg back. Oh, boy, is this tight. Now I'm going to wiggle my left foot in, releasing my right leg back. I'm still lifted. So what's the modification for this? Well, it could be lying on your back, bringing both knees into your chest, and then dropping one foot over top of the opposite knee into a piriform stretch. That's another way you can do this if you're not comfortable in this position. And remember, there is never shame there because you can't do what I'm doing. There's always something different to do. So this would be the other one. You'd be down, right leg over, and stretching here. Okay? That would be your modification. All right. Last but not least, I want you on your back again. We're going to try to get some weights in here today. So you're on your back again. And we're going to do the leg series, okay? So your shoulders are back and down, ribs are open. You're going to come up in tabletop. First things first, extend left leg on that 45-degree angle, draw it back, extend right, and draw it back. So this is the basic movement of the lower body, okay? Inhale, exhale. Make sure you're doing this right. If you find that you're bringing your toe out and that 45 is not comfortable, then bring the foot up higher towards the ceiling, okay? All right, feet down. So now let's work the arm space. We're going to bring the arms up and over if we're comfortable. If we're not comfortable with that, there's always an alternative to bring it to the side. You never, ever want to take your arms above your head or above the shoulder if the shoulder space is impinged or there's a problem. The other is we can bring it up and we can circle it around. Okay, so there's options here. Use your options. Feet are up. We're going to take our legs out. One leg, 45-degree angle. Bring both arms up and sweep it around. Tuck it back in. Other side. Tuck it back in. Tuck it back in. Remember, you have options here. You can just take it to the outside. Keep going. Good. Feet are down. So just to release the hip space and the back space, let's just drop our legs into that stacked hip space here. The legs are stacked just to get a stretch through the lower back, into the middle back, through the hip flexors, up to the obliques. Inhale, exhale, try to the other side. Don't ever hesitate to take a movement, a stretch movement between your movements. You never have to go right into the next movement. You want them to be precise so that you're doing them correctly. Okay, next, we're in tabletop again. Now we're going to take both legs. We're going to bring both legs out, arms up, sweep them back in. So you have the option. Remember, you can go right at a 45-degree angle or bring it up higher where the ceiling and the wall meet, okay? And again, up. You can also raise the head weight. One more. Okay, head down. Right leg is up, left leg is long. So we're going to use a longer lever here. We're going to hold behind the right leg. If you need to lift the head, neck, and shoulders, please do that, okay? Then I want you to point the right toe. This left leg's coming off the floor too. It's not going to be tight to the floor. You're not letting it rest. It's there. Now I'm going to nod and bow, and I'm going to bring my hands up my leg to my calf. I'm going to inhale. As I exhale, this right leg comes there. The left leg I'm holding. Inhale, exhale. So I'm sure you've seen different movements where when they're doing the longer lever, they pull into this leg that's up. I don't think we need to pull. Pull is a four-letter word. We want to make sure this is fluid. There's no bouncing on the joints or the long ligaments, tendons. You don't need to do that. If you want to, go for it. One more. Bring it up. Head weight down. Okay. Find your way up to the top. Okay. So we're going to stand, get our weights in our hands if you have them. I do not, so we're going to do it another way. Okay. So you're in a standing position. You want your feet to be about hip width apart. If you're on a rug space, great. You do want to stay on your mat if you're on a hard floor. It's just better for your body, especially during the cold. So you're going to be here. Your feet are flat, your hip width. And then we're going to do what we talk about all the time is tailbone tucks under, abdominals lift. You have length, right? You're opening up through the ribcage, but I want you to soften your knees a little bit. And then you're going to do your bicep curls, just a basic bicep curl, up and down. Keep doing that, just curl up and down. Looking good. All right, now with the arms down, let's alternate this. Let's take a right bicep curl, then rotate the shoulder with your weight in your hand, pressing it overhead. Bringing that elbow back down, rotation, through. So up, rotate, down, and through. Good. Lift, rotate. Look for the shoulder girdle here, especially the attachments behind the shoulder, the subscapularis. That's a nice holding pattern. Gives you some length there. Okay, release it. Now, the next thing we're going to do, you have your weights in your hands. Your feet are still hip width apart. You're going to bring them forward here. So let's bring up one arm, release it. So this is an upright row. You're holding on to your weight. So an upright row. Keep that length. So I got length going up through my body. I'm nice and tall. Always about standing tall. So what if you didn't want to stand? What if you had a problem with, say, your back or your knees or your feet or your ankle? Can you still do the weight work? Absolutely. You could actually sit on a chair with opened arms, okay? And you could do all these movements. Now, hands together, elbows lifted. I like to encourage people not to stop unless, of course, you talk to your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm simply here as a coach helping you through your work. But you can still remain active if there's a problem with your lower body. Of course, you know what that problem would be, and you would have a doctor and everybody else in your life helping you through it. Okay, so next thing, the weights are here, you to the side. How about a lateral lift? So taking it out, left and right. Inhale. Exhale. Going. And now we're going to do an upright row together. So we're going to bring both up, release it. Both up, release it. So you're pulling up, releasing. One more. Okay. Shoulders, let's roll them. Still hold on to your weights while you're rolling your shoulders. Still hold on. Now roll them forward. Good. Okay. So you still have your weights in your hands. We talk about this all the time. So you're going to make sure that when you're hold on to both weights. Okay, holding on to them. So you're coming around, arms go up, straight to the ceiling. Legs are apart. You're going to take the weights back behind you. Lift up. Now let's keep our knees soft again. So do you see that? you have that lift and lower. So there's a softness to your knees. You don't feel like you're imbalanced. It's real important not to be imbalanced. Of course, we can't help it. One more. Take your arms down, down, down. Release your weights, slowly bending. Bring your weights to the floor and leave them there, and then come back up. So we were just talking about balance. We're going to go out with a bang. We're going to try to work on balance here. So my feet are completely together. I'm standing very tall. For some of us, this creates an imbalance. So what's wrong with going there? There's nothing wrong with being there. There's nothing wrong with throwing yourself into a place of imbalance to help you to be more balanced. Just make sure you're safe. Things around you, a couple pillows. I don't think you're going to fall. So you're here. First thing I want you to do is take your right foot, put your toe down to the mat. So your toe is down to the mat. You're here. So you feel that you're on this leg most, right? You're shifting your weight. You can feel that. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to move this knee up a little bit and then down. Then lift it and down. And lift it and down. So for me, my left ankle had a past injury and I'm always weaker there. So I want to think about this. Now take the foot down. Shake out your left leg. Okay, you're on your right side. So you're going to hold this feet together. Now shift your weight onto the right, but don't lock out that knee. Keep it soft. Bring your toe here. Okay, so you feel the toe. So you can feel the shift, the weight. But that doesn't mean you let it all go to one side. Think about your body still holding the other side. So now let's lift the left and down. And release. Good. Take a deep breath in. Inhale. Bring your arms all the way up. You're reaching to the right. You're reaching to the left. Take your arms out. And we did it.